My name is Andy Kranak, and I am the president of VeeFriends.
My name's Adam Rips. I'm the head of collectibles at VeeFriends, and I work alongside Gary, Andy, and the rest of the VeeFriends team to develop products that we hope you like.
VeeFriends Topps Chrome, probably undisputedly the coolest card product VeeFriends has ever released.
The two types of VeeFriends Chrome boxes, the hobby boxes and the blaster boxes. Almost every main flagship product in Topps has a hobby box, and that's this year. This is the creme de la creme of the first year of VeeFriends Chrome,
Which is the ultimate collector's box for VeeFriends Topps Chrome.
The hobby boxes has the special refractor inserts and has the purple exclusive out of 20.
3 numbered parallels, 18 packs, a whole lot of room for different collectability and pulling either your favorite character or your favorite insert.
The blaster boxes have the exclusive yellow refractors and also the blast off 1-of-1s. It's a value box. Less cards inside, but a bit more affordable compared to the hobby boxes.
I think my favorite thing about the blaster boxes is that they have the yellow refractors, and it's especially my favorite refractor when you get a color match. The yellow refractor with the yellow decisive duck is an all-time card in my opinion.
A lot of big brands don't come out with the blaster boxes, but VeeFriends really wanted them to help scale the collectors community and hope that people can hit some awesome cards inside of a value box. So how did these come to be? It was the 2023 National Card Show, where Topps saw VeeFriends booth there and saw how much momentum there was and how much excitement and fun there was with kids and adults alike. And so Topps approached Gary and VeeFriends at the booth, and eventually Gary worked a long-term partnership out with Topps to produce VeeFriends trading cards. And so what better way to start off than with the Topps main flagship product called Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome was created in 1996. Kobe Bryant's rookie card, Tom Brady's rookie card, LeBron James' rookie card.
Topps Chrome is one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic, trading card and sport card manufacturers in the world. And to have VeeFriends alongside Topps Chrome and the other IPs that represent their trading cards is a tremendous opportunity for VeeFriends to help new collectors discover the brand and our characters.
We're extremely excited for it. It's the first year of many, and in collecting, the first year of products is always very exciting. And so we're excited that a ton of people have been collecting VeeFriends Chrome, have been breaking VeeFriends Chrome, sharing it with their families, their friends, and more. And we're looking onwards to the future products. Okay. The very lucky black cat. The VeeFriends mascot, our Pikachu, our Mickey Mouse.
It is the most coveted and collectible character in the entire VeeFriends universe. We call it the logo character. When the creator and founder of the company was creating this IP, he decided to make the black cat the logo character included in the VeeFriends logo because the potential opportunity it symbolizes and represents for individuals to define their own meaning.
Gary Vaynerchuk, the creator of VeeFriends, wants to reverse the stigma on what a black cat means.
Some people see a black cat and they think they're about to have an unlucky day. Sometimes I see a lucky black cat and I think I'm about to have the best day of my life.
And by the time that VeeFriends has been able to share our message, we hope that the little kids growing up in the world don't know that black cats were unlucky and that they only know black cats to be lucky. A lot of the things that VeeFriends is about is building out positive traits and attributes in these characters that live far beyond VeeFriends and Gary's world himself. And so this character in Chrome was a bit of a challenge because we wanted everybody to be able to find and collect the black cat. But then we also wanted it to kind of be a higher tier of rarity and excitement for collectors so that everybody knew that the black cat was ultra special. And so what happened is that the black cat has eye variations where the eyes change colors.
There's a rainbow of eye colors, which is an ode to the Pikachu cheeks.
And so everyone who pulls the green eyes black cat considers themselves a big winner. And we consider ourselves winners when we see so many people enjoying, loving, and getting to know the black cat.
Fearless Fairy.
The Fearless Fairy. I won't even look at the front yet, but what a lot of people don't know about the backs is that there's 3 parts to the back of a card. Since VeeFriends is still very early in our days, it's important that we allow people who collect these to learn more about the characters. And so each character has their name, their competitive advantage, what makes them stand out, the original drawing of the character by Gary Vaynerchuk, and a quote direct from the character from our interviews with them.
One of my favorite fun facts about the fairy is that this original artwork drawing, this is the first time it's ever been released to the public.
Because in VeeFriends, there's 251 characters, and 236 of those were drawn back in 2021 when VeeFriends was first created. But 15 new characters were added in 2022 with the VeeFriends Series 2 collection.
And in VeeFriends Series 2, there were no original artworks ever seen. So So this is the first time you're actually ever seeing Gary Vaynerchuk's original drawing of Fearless Fairy, which is really cool. Fearless Fairy is a really big star in the VeeFriends universe for being featured in our VeeFriends cartoons, one of the 6 main characters in VeeFriends cartoons. It is also the debut character in VeeFriends comic book number 2. VeeFriends Comics debuted with our first ever comic book, printed out of 555 copies. The cover was designed by the notable cover artist J. Scott Campbell. That was released exclusively to our Gift Goat NFT holders. And comic number 2 was released in May, featuring the origin story of Fearless Fairy and her brother, Bad Intentions. And we are excited to continue to unveil the origin stories of the VeeFriends characters and their missions and quests month over month as VeeFriends comic books release monthly now, and that will be a really exciting time.
The perfect Persian cat.
Perfect Persian Cat. This character gained a lot of lore and credibility and collectability.
All of the people who collect and play the VeeFriends trading card game flock to this card because they know how special the character actually is.
It is the only character in the VeeFriends trading card game that has a 25 score of aura, stamina, and skill.
And so when the card game came out in 2022, it was immediately the hottest card, the most powerful one in the whole entire set. Now everyone can find it in Topps Chrome. Love the perfect Persian cat.
Cool character, and it's really fun to see that the collectability has crossed mediums, not only within the TCG, but in Topps Chrome, in our NFTs, and anywhere else the perfect Persian cat is seen, which, by the way, perfect Persian cat is a star within the VeeFriends cartoons, always trying to find the perfect solution to a lot of her problems. Notorious. The Notorious Ninja. Ooh, number Notorious Ninja. What do we got? Shimmer out of 150. I'll read the quote. "I'm so stealthy, you didn't even see me coming at New York Comic Con 2024.
There's a lot of people who don't know that the Notorious Ninja was released as a promo card at New York Comic Con 2024. So it was a complete surprise, and it's the only card that does not have that first Chrome badge because it was created as a Chrome card in 2024. And so we made 2,500 packs, all featuring Notorious Ninja in different rarities, and that one is actually the first Chrome card of the Ninja and the first Chrome card in general.
You can see that pack on sale now for eBay and in secondary markets, anywhere from $200 to $350. And I'm really excited about the Ninja's origin stories, which are going to be told through comic books. I'm really excited to return to New York Comic Con and allow the attendees of that amazing event to once again experience VeeFriends and the Notorious Ninja.
People like ninjas, what can we say?
Ooh, a little duality.
The Patient Pig and the Eager Eagle. These characters have basically been intertwined since last year when VeeFriends came out with our first ever children's book called Meet Me in the Middle. It was basically a flip book where one side was about Patient Pig's perspective, the other side was about Eager Eagle's perspective, and both stories met in the middle, kind of showing how each character connects with each other and learns from each other throughout the story.
Gary Vee often says you have to pull from opposite sides to find your balance and happiness and be the most successful version of yourself. And I think that is what we have here in these two characters. You want to be as eager and energetic as possible when you're starting your day, but you also want to be as patient and grounded in the long-term vision as possible.
So because of the children's book released last year, Patient Pig and Eager Eagle have a big connection, and people have been collecting these two cards together throughout the set.
Fun.
The next character is Skilled Skeleton, whose competitive advantage is talents that are as clean as a bone, and his quote is "bare bones, pure skill, I'm lean, mean, and ready." So this character is also very special within the VeeFriends world. We have this very united family of Halloween characters that everybody loves to follow, but more importantly, this character really resonates with me and a lot of other collectors because it was a collaboration that VeeFriends released with Masters of the Universe and Skeletor, a 2-pack combo with the Skilled Skeleton and Skeletor, and it was known to be the first ever release where Skeletor smiled, and kind of where the Skilled Skeleton teaches happiness to Skeletor, who's known to be like cynical, evil, and mean. And so I think that even early on in the VeeFriends days, to be able to achieve a collaboration as notable as Masters of the Universe, as nostalgic as that, and with the mission of VeeFriends characters teaching kindness in the world is really, really special. So one of the best collaborations that VeeFriends has come out with, and why Skilled Skeleton I think is such a popular character in VeeFriends and in this Chrome release.
Whoa! Adaptable Alien In the year 2025, who doesn't love aliens? We think they might be in the sky. We're not sure. We definitely know that they are adaptable. Adaptable Alien, for some of those reasons, is one of the most popular characters in VeeFriends. It's an alien. It's cool. In his competing pose here, he is dancing, shaking it off. I'm ready for anything the universe throws my way. Not only is Adaptable Alien a really cool character and its collectability transcends trading cards and our digital collectibles, but it also has a lot of really cool pins. Shimmer, cosmic pins, and I believe a meteorite pin. All kinds of different rarities. Over the last 5-10 years, I think collectibles and collecting as a genre has only increased in popularity and notoriety. People collect album covers, people collect trading cards, and people also really collect pins. VeeFriends has a really big community of pin collectors, and I think pins represent a really fun way to not just collect the character, but showcase the character. People wear pins on their hats, on their sweaters, put them on their backpacks, on their lanyards, and with having different rarities across the different characters and over 250 characters, there's so much fun to be had with the types of collectability you can create with pins, and it's something that VeeFriends collectors will get to experience for a very long time.
VeeFriends pins are super popular, and the more that people can connect with different items and different collectibles of their characters, the better. The sketch to screen. With Topps Chrome, all of the characters are in their new evolved Series 2 form. But one of the things that was important to us is that people do know that the characters were originally hand-drawn by Gary Vee. And so on the back of all the cards you have the drawings, and right here on the sketch to screens, you have the original drawings of the VeeFriends characters featured in the cartoons.
Really cool to see the evolution of just an idea of a doodle and making its way into a YouTube Kids show.
And so the sketch to screen not only shows the evolution of all the characters, but also gives everyone who pulls one of these cards the opportunity to scan the back and watch the cartoons.
Empathy Elephant, of course, is one of the most popular characters in VeeFriends.
This one's amazing.
Chill Chinchilla.
It's the 1975 baseball throwback insert. 1975 Topps Baseball was one of the most iconic sets that Topps has ever made. And so when we recreated all the VeeFriends characters to fit that set, they were redrawn by VeeFriends in order to kind of have more baseball features. So we got Chill Chinchilla with the glove on his head, and all of the characters have very unique poses.
But the Chill Chinchilla is actually custom illustrated and designed specifically by an illustrator named Chris Slavin. Shout out Chris. And on the back, there's some alpha and some really fun information about these characters' capabilities on the baseball field. They came out even more beautiful than when we were drawing them.
So in this set, there are 25 characters featured. Chill Chinchilla is just one of them. They're only limited edition out of 75 or 1 of 1, nothing in between. So they're extremely rare, extremely collectible, very iconic looking, and fit the frame of kind of blending together sports and VeeFriends in a really neat way. Additionally, it's the 50-year anniversary of the set, so it's very nostalgic for those collectors.
But it is also Gary's birth year.
So this is one of Gary's favorite sets growing up as well, and now we're able to celebrate it in the VeeFriends set as a 50-year anniversary, both of Gary's birth and of the Topps Chrome baseball set. And so we're a big fan of this set, and excited to see what next year's sports throwback looks like too. Oh, nice.
Moral Monkey Game On.
A throwback to the vintage Game Boy design here in 2025 VeeFriends Chrome. Honestly, you have to hold one of these in hand in order to see how awesome it really does look, because it's called a Shadowbox card, because there are 3 layers to the card. The top is that traditional Chrome texture, the middle is a pixelized VeeFriends character, and behind it, you have a background that resembles a vintage video game.
You gotta take this out, because this card is really incredible. The depth and uniqueness of the design. This is probably one of the coolest inserts VeeFriends will ever make.
They're known as a case hit, meaning if you find one in a case, you should consider yourself pretty lucky. So we're trying to develop how people would play as these characters in these vintage games, and I think just an awesome design that whether you're a brand new collector or you've been collecting for a long time can think is pretty awesome, and we love this set.
Manga.
Ooh, this one's an orange.
Check out the sparkle.
The Manga speckle inserts, to me, are like 2 extra hits in every single VeeFriends hobby box. My favorite thing about it is that it's the only insert set for all 100 characters. So a lot of the other inserts you've been seeing are either for 10, 20, 25 characters, but the Manga speckle, you can find it in every single VeeFriends character.
I've seen a few collectors so far collect the entire 100 characters
These character poses were created exclusively for VeeFriends Topps Chrome, and it was the first time that people saw any of these new versions of the characters, making it a super exciting set. Now, the artwork for these cards were never before seen before this release. They were created by VeeFriends comic artist Chris Faison and then used on these cards, making them extremely exciting. And then, after the cards were released, VeeFriends came out with an NFT swap, where you can actually take the character pose that's used on this card and swap it onto your digital NFTs, which also kind of brings together the physical and the digital in a really fun and unique way. And so every single time that you open a VeeFriends Chrome box, if you find a Manga speckle, you know you're in for a treat.
Really cool, and this numbered orange speckle with the forthright flamingo has my attention.
Oh, exciting. The most surprising cards that you can find when you open up VeeFriends Topps Chrome is a set called Entrepreneur Elf's Favorite Entrepreneurs. And so this set, extremely fun to pull, because all of a sudden you're opening VeeFriends character, VeeFriends character, VeeFriends character, and then you just find a real life human being on your cards. Of course, VeeFriends is created by Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a serial entrepreneur, has been an investor, and created many businesses throughout his life. And so one of the most unique things that we can do to innovate in this product is release the first ever set made for entrepreneurs. And so VeeFriends and Gary teamed up with Gary plus 12 other entrepreneurs to be included in VeeFriends Chrome 2025.
All of them have a one-of-one superfractor, and they also have a one-of-one autograph superfractor. I know there's a bounty out for some of these entrepreneurial autograph one-of-ones.
So we have people like Stephen Ross, who owns the Miami Dolphins, Damon John from Shark Tank, and Gary Vaynerchuk, the CEO of VeeFriends. There's also people like Kevin Hart, Christina Tosi, Bethany Frankel, and Michael Rubin, amazing entrepreneurs to find. My favorite part about that set is that there's someone in there named Mike Cesario. He actually worked at VaynerMedia before starting a company called Liquid Death. And so to see a former VaynerMedia employee now turn into a VeeFriends Topps Chrome card, I think just shows like the full circle of VaynerMedia and VeeFriends and who Gary is. So it's very fun to kind of see people pull the cards of the humans in the set, but also really fun for VeeFriends to be able to innovate on Topps Chrome and Topps with something that's never been done before with some of the most notable entrepreneurs in the world. All right, so now I'm watching a clip of a big pull. That's how rare it is. We don't even have one to show you guys in person, but let's see what we got. Jess is pulling on Whatnot. Ooh, Capable Caterpillar Iconics. So this is an amazing set.
Insane. And it's a beautiful stained on glass card.
This card was pulled in something called a break, which is basically a live card opening where we open the cards for you and ship it right to your door. It's a very big thing in cards, and now in VeeFriends we do it on our Whatnot channel. And so if you've never heard of Whatnot before, that's where we actually open up cards all the time for customers who are winning giveaways or buying them virtually. And so in that room, you'll see the kindest community of all time. We always have all types of awesome giveaways. And as seen here, you never know what's going to come out of a VeeFriends cards pack. We hope that you can join a stream and see what it's all about. Now, why this is such a big pull and why it's so rare is because it's actually a representation of VeeFriends Iconics, a whole different NFT collection release of all the characters in 2022. The artwork was created by Gilong Bogi, a very notable artist in the sports world, who actually created all of the VeeFriends Iconics artworks, and now they're collectible as cards for the first time ever.
The VeeFriends Iconics NFT was actually airdropped to VeeFriends Series 1 Spectacular holders. In order to ever first receive the Iconics NFT, you needed to own a VeeFriends Series 1 Spectacular. The owners were airdropped this one-of-one, extremely unique, iconic style design.
And so it's extremely special, they're extremely rare, and we took the holograms of those designs, chose 20 characters, and now you can find those as the exclusive, special stained glass cards in VeeFriends Chrome 2025. In the collectibles world, the stained glass is always a very prestigious, exciting hit. Aha! Now this is an even bigger pull.
And she pulled a Firefly, Black Lava out of 10 Erupt.
Erupts are known as the most exciting, rare, and desired insert in all of VeeFriends Topps Chrome. These Erupt cards aren't only popular because of VeeFriends. It actually stems back over a decade ago with a very popular sports insert called Kaboom. A few years ago, Gary was able to meet the artist and the creator of Kaboom, Gyula Namath, who's an artist from Budapest, Hungary. Gary always envisioned Gyula doing something incredible for the VeeFriends brand and the VeeFriends products, and when we were coming out with Topps Chrome 2025, we knew that was the best way to introduce it. And so the Erupts are not only so special because of how amazing they look, but also the lineage and the history of the artwork and the artist behind it all.
It's remarkable that we were able to have the artist recreate these 10 VeeFriends characters in his signature style. It is my personal favorite insert in all the VeeFriends Topps Chrome. The Firefly is fly
And so to see one come out on our streams of the Firefly is amazing.
Next one, oh, we have the Unleashed boys. Tyler Smith, Zach Owings on Unleashed. He's flipping through and bam, he pulls the Whimsical Wolf Y2K.
Now the whole Y2K set is very near and dear to me and the whole VeeFriends team because it's a direct tie to a huge brand with the only Chrome release in the year 2000, Pokemon.
Similar to Erupt, the VeeFriends Y2K features 10 characters.
In the year 2000, Pokemon released its only Topps Chrome set ever. So now, 25 years after that, VeeFriends is able to put our own spin on it with 10 characters that were created by DJ Kaufman. DJ is the head of our VeeFriends comics. He's our lead cartoonist. He's incredibly talented. And so the fact that it's DJ's artwork, that it's a throwback to Pokemon 2000 Chrome, and that it's such a rare hit has all contributed to these being such a fantastic hit, and one that is so rare we can't even show it to you here, only on the live streams and hopefully in some of your collections. Amazing.
Sketch cards.
A sketch card is something that is created blank and sent to artists around the world in order to draw their own versions of VeeFriends characters that then get sent back to Topps to randomize into all of the packs.
They've been taking over the internet.
What makes this set even more special are the people who create them. So Topps has artists from Garbage Pail Kids and Star Wars. VeeFriends worked with special artists like Clicks and Sean Duras. But more importantly, VeeFriends was able to work with our own community members to make one-of-a-kind sketch cards in the first ever release of Topps Chrome, which we think is something super special to bring in the most incredible community in the world with what we feel is one of the most incredible products that we've ever had.
You have Gary Vee guzzling some honey, Notorious Ninja, Gratitude Gorilla. VeeFriends Topps Chrome has so many amazing sketch artists. This wizard, I can tell you, only someone who truly knows the wizard would be able to recreate.
So the sketch cards are extremely special. Every time you pull one, you never know what you're gonna find. It's an original piece of art inserted exclusively in Topps Chrome 2025. Welcome to the VeeFriends universe.
You're about to fall in love.
I've been a card collector ever since I was a little kid. It's how I met Gary in the first place. And so to be able to work with him to bring to life a VeeFriends Topps Chrome set is nothing short of a dream come true. And so it was an amazing project to work with the VeeFriends team, but more importantly, a huge thank you to the whole community for bringing it to life with us, and to everyone who's been joining the VeeFriends world with it. Welcome and thank you so much.
VeeFriends is a transmedia company. We are only 4 years into that journey of telling stories across different mediums, hoping to connect with our audiences and inspire them to be the best versions of themselves and inspire them to define what happiness and success looks like for themselves. Collecting is a huge part of VeeFriends. It's a huge cultural movement within finding collectability, and I'm just so excited for people to come along this journey, experience the VeeFriends community, the positivity, the enthusiasm, the entrepreneurialism that VeeFriends has with our collectors and our fans and our audience. And I know the founder and creator, Gary Vee, and the rest of the VeeFriends company is really excited to continue to build this IP and do future releases of VeeFriends Topps Chrome.
Thank you. Good work.
Yeah.
That was fun. I like that.